Alright, healer time. There we go. Attack me, Lily. Oh, because I wanted all that stuff. Alright, did I get anything out of that? Yes, I did. And we're gonna go do some Conjurer quest. Let's return to it. Welcome, Cynthia. The tales of your deeds have reached me even here in the cloistered heart of Stillglade fame. Glad I am that you have come, for I would ask your assistance in a matter of some delicacy. Concerns, yes, young Sophie once again. As you can no doubt imagine, the recent revelations concerning her mother has sorely troubled the poor child. It appears Sophie needed some time alone to sort through the whirlwind of emotions that could not be said. She has, in short, fled from the guild. Fortunately, party Conjurers who are dispatched to the South Shroud to investigate another instance of corruption sent word that they had spotted our wayward Sophie. Considering the importance of their mission, I would not seek to distract the Conjurers from this task. Thus, I would ask you to escort Sophie back here to the guild. You are, I believe, one of the few people to whom she will listen. Before I travel to Buscaron's druthers and speak up with Wolfie, she was a creature who first chanced upon Sophie, and we'll be able to tell you more of how the young lady fares. Welcome back, Cynthia. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. You made such a habit of succeeding that it's difficult not to take your talents for granted. Rest assured, however, Mother is impressed, even if she isn't surprised. But Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to come upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being of what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions when we are hard-pressed with enough hands to deal with all of them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Aver's gone. It's all your fault. If you hadn't taken an age to heal him, he'd still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish his spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving and it'll be too soon if I ever see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you could even do that one thing right. cruel as it may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Everett's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hell you like with it. For God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Don't leave me alone. Please. I'm so sorry, Aver. Please forgive me. Seems like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much, at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. Belaga received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word and I will be glad to share the details with you. So you are taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. I give her the Sultan's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but if ever you're confident you'll pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Saint, and good luck. There we go. I wonder, do I have... No, I don't. Much better. We meet again, Sainthia. I assume Brother Asume warned you of the corruption my companions and I have been tasked with purifying here in the South Shroud? The source of the extensive blight is found to the southeast. The shrill, discordant voices of the elements shriek to the dismay of the vicinity of the weather treant. I suggest you give the area a wide berth. Considering the potential dangers, you might imagine how alarmed I was to discover young Sophie wandering in this part of the Closewood. Seems that my mother, a woman who healed with Conjurer, but remained untrained by the guild, called this region her home. Sophie herself had her head buried in some sort of mannered tome, but if she is as sensitive to the elements' murmurings I am to believe, then the din within her mind must have been driving her to distraction. Pray speak with the child and see that she is well. I would do so myself if our current duty was not so pressing. We will, in fact, be setting out any moment. Wolfia divines the will of air. Alone alone is deeply rooted in earth, and I claim some small degree of mastery for water. False modesty aside, we three were chosen to respond to this disturbance suggests that the situation is dire indeed. Sainthia, you have grown much since we last spoke with the mysterious earth. Though you are no doubt capable of defending yourself, you must nonetheless advise you against venturing into the wilds until such times as the balance has been restored. Sainthia! I should have known that Wolfie would have tattled on me. And Brother Asume sent you to take me back, didn't he? This is where my mother used to live, you know. But until she passed on, folk were grateful for the healing she offered. This is the journal she used to keep. It's an entry that explains how nature becomes furious when conjurers use their art. How there are always more people wounded in battles and mortals abuse a power that is not theirs to take. My mother refused to draw nature because she was scared of making it angry. She wouldn't lie about such things, and I want to do what she would have wanted. I want to stop using Conjurer altogether. Ugh, I've never heard voices this mad before. I bet it's because Wolfie and others are overusing the art. We have to go stop them. God, it's so loud. Can't you hear it? Nature is shrieking in rage. Nature is angry with us. We mustn't use any more Conjurer. We're only making nature more furious. Time to not offer defend. Corruption must be exclusively. Even the creatures of the woods know this is wrong. Elementals. Are they angry with me? How that religious sense of thunder lightning against us? More proof you need. I lost her. Hey, the elementals are helping us. Never has the earth look about me. I must apologize. I can't believe nature actually helped us. There was nothing scary about it at all. Still wonder if it was really safe for Conjurers to borrow the power if they hadn't seen the way you wield it. Nothing needs to be so more natural. I think it's time we went back to the guilds. There are a few things I need to collect first, so please go on ahead without me. Thank you for your time and assistance. With the origin of the corruption now neutralized, we should be able to cleanse whatever traces remained. We possessed by an affinity for the elements. That was most impressive. What's going to be fun is getting into Ishgard and then having to do the catch-up on Dark Knight and Astrologian. Welcome back, Saithya. And you also, Sophie. Brother Asumi, I'm sorry I ran away like that. I understand, child. Did you find the answers you sought? Yes, thanks to Saithya. She told me that nature was nothing to be afraid of. I think I know why my mother refused to call upon his power. She believed the act was caused suffering to nature itself. I see. So it was her very love for nature that prevented her from drawing on its strength. Tell me, Sophie, has the fog of indecision not lifted from your mind? It has, Guildmaster. I understand now why my mother chose the path she did. Full glad I didn't hear that, but I must ask you one more question. Yes, Brother Asumi. When you first witnessed Saithya cleanse the corrupted element, you mentioned hearing voices. How exactly did they sound? Voices? Well, they sounded joyful, like a crowd letting a sudden cheer. I really heard them, I swear. I'm sure you did, Sophie. This is a gift. Conjurers may sense the power of nature and borrow from the strength, but not all can hear its whispers. What you describe are the voices of the elementals. You may very well possess the talent to become a hearer. A hearer? Of course, much relies on your studies of conjuring. You have a natural aptitude, but have thus far lacked commitment. You must not neglect your training, Sophie. Putting aside the matters of such matters for a moment, I'm curious to hear about the disturbance you observed in this house shroud, Saithya. Assume from the reports I received that it was of a different magnitude to those you previously encountered. Am I correct? I suppose ill. The creature known as mud pies are not native to the Toeswood. I wonder what relation this may have to the seemingly ever-increasing frequency of these disturbances. Something beyond the damage brought by the calamity afflicts the 12's-wood. I shall commune with the elementals and seek to identify this threat. Cynthia, Sophie, I may have need of you both before long. Till then, give yourselves over to the study of our art. Even the earth shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide. Ever shall the earth meet your footfall, and the wind guide your path. Alright. I'll definitely go with this because glasses are awesome. Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording for the YouTube portion, and trigger it once the dungeon's done. You've become on behalf of Jandalaine. I just furnished him with a fresh batch of my special creations last week. I realize the man's services are in demand, but that would be physically impossible for him to exhaust an entire supply so soon. Stolen, you say? An unfortunate turn of events, indeed. If not entirely unexpected. You see, the man's something of a genius. And genius is often misunderstood by modest minds. Trust me, I speak from extensive personal experience. Yes, great minds must band together in trying times, lest the realm be deprived of our talents. And so I command you, deliver this parcel to Jandalaine with all speed. Bet you anything this is gonna get interrupted. I have time though. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for the ale. Are you called Cynthia Wall by chance? Mew sent word you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you with the adventure of the moment. I know small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here just to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty! Another second under that sun and I would have been set to a fire. Ticket of ale if you'd be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Shan. Just so happens that the adventurer will be handling your petition is here. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lady. I am Papa Shan, formerly of the Sultan's Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Perhaps you'd like to apprise Cynthia of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern. It relates an unfortunate development of the Copperbell mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hektoncheres. I cannot pronounce that Greek word, sorry. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems they have been managed to break through the layer of rock which the servant imprisoned them and now prowl the tunnels where the miners supply their trade. Creatures are justifiably angry about the treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and the presence have forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, my lady. The people of that age used them to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to the will. As is off their way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain them in brittle fury, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lower levels. So, it was the great giant revolt that was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now that's got me thinking. I seem to recall reading an article on the Copperbell and the Mithril Iron a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like it or not, our boys dug too deep and freed the giants. Guys, I think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. It's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed! That makes them a danger to us all. There'll be no mining at Copperbell as long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is a task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny the mission will be rife for danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I thought you might have very reservations, but I assure you for the best. In case you didn't know, Copperbell mines are in the western Danland. Do take care, you hear? One last thing for your part. An employee of the Imagina & Sons is presently at the quicksand. Phil's name is Peta Mesa. He knows the Copperbell mines well. Maybe he'll help you to seek his counsel. Looking for Peta Mesa? You found him. So the adventurers volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, have you? You got guts, miss. Just hope you got skills to go with them, cause things ain't pretty down there. They've left a place in the right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second old dynasty was still young, and was abandoned centuries ago. If that had been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebellion effort, Conjurer never would have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. The miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. Stone torches keeping a watch over their entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. I hope the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. been an incident inside Copperbell mines. We're here to ensure that the effects are contained. For your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. Oh, wait. You're the adventurer who's been volunteering to quell the giants? I didn't think Papa John would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. Giants are content to wreak their havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. Okay, that's everything for healer for now.